This is WENR, the voice of service in Chicago. WENR leaves the air now, and this channel will be occupied by WLS.
Good evening, everybody. You are now listening to WLS, the voice of Prairie Farmer, America's oldest farm paper, Chicago.
The Johnson Wax Program. Good evening, everyone. The makers of Johnson's Wax present desperate drama of delirious dizziness and delectable ditties with Rico Marcelli's orchestra, Hugh Studebaker, and Marion and Jim as your foremost family of fantastic fabricators, Fibber McGee and Molly.
One of the classic movies of all time. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the only daily podcast online about ham radio. This is Ham Radio Live. Please hit that subscribe button. We do not monetize, not at all. In fact, we just ask to subscribe. We promise you'll hear no commercials here. Happy Thursday. It's the 4th day of February, 2021. Grateful to see you from around the world. Spain is here. North America is here. I'm sure we'll see a sighting from Australia as well. Going to go into some test questions today, as well as tell you about a really cool remote program you can use to work other people's radios. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Oh, hello. It's a little early, right? Early and late. Well, early and short. It's going to be early and short today. I apologize. You get a lot going on. Take a look at the rig cam. Yep, there it is. That's the rig cam in the shack. Okay, well, still have the 5000, and it's okay. All right. And the 7300. It's okay. But the point is, L-Craft, it just sold. So I had to get that set out too. I've got a little alfalfa going on here. Hi, everybody. Good morning from the west coast of Oregon. Good afternoon if you're somewhere where it's in the late day, and good evening to those folks that are in Europe and throughout Asia. Thank you so much for being here today. We're going to go into some test questions, plus talk to you about a really cool product you can get online that actually will help you to remote control other people's rigs. Pretty cool. One of our viewers, Lee Rosselli, sent it to me. So I thought, I'll look into it a little bit, talk to one of the folks there, and it sounds pretty solid. So that's pretty cool. And big ups to you too, Johan. You know, the movie that showed, first of all, let me explain the Open Today. Really big, this is important. The Open Today was from 1935. Now, in the 30s in the United States in radio, frequently radio station, which were companies, would, as you can see the dog walking in the background, radio stations would share frequencies. That's a great example of it in Chicago. WENR, which was part of the NBC Blue Network. Back then, the National Broadcasting System company had two sides, red and blue network. They had to split off. The FCC finally said, you're a monopoly now. You really need to split it off. That's how we got ABC, by the way. Yeah, ABC is the old NBC Blue. So NBC Blue Network, that was WENR, went right to WLS sign-on, both at 50,000 watts at 870 kilocycles. Pretty cool, right? 1935. If you look back on and replay, freeze on the picture of the building. It's quite interesting. I thought it was, at least. And today, for the sign-off, going to be a great sign-off. Again, a radio sign-off today. Very special. Not many radio sign-offs are out there, because it's been so long that we've had 24-hour radio, you know. So not many of them out there, but was able to find a good enough radio sign off for you to hear today at the end of the show. Okay. And then the movie we showed, that's a 7 Academy Award winning movie. And the last time, by the way, the movie is Going My Way, starring Bing Crosby and Barry Fitzgerald. One of the best movies I've ever seen. It's truly a movie that has no villain. My wife mentions that. She loves the movie because it has no villain in it. 7 Academy Award winners, and it's the last time. And the Academy actually had to change the rule after this movie, because Barry Fitzgerald, who plays the other priest in this movie, he almost won for Best Supporting Actor, which he did win, and he almost won for Best what do they call it, main actor, so lead actor. Yeah. He almost won the award for both. Pretty cool. Ward Dixon, good morning to the state of California. Happy days. Good to see you, buddy. Hope it's sunshine down there. Bring it up here, would you please? Ed Lee is here. Ed, welcome back. Ed is Kilo Oscar 4, Lima Kilo Kilo. It's an honor to have you here today, Ed. Thank you very, very much for coming. It's a joy. Thank you. All right. So we're going to talk today about the general. I know we've got 2 people taking tests. I believe it's tomorrow. So we're going to try and give them a last general primer. Tomorrow will be Extra Friday. We'll do extra exam questions to help those folks that would like to get the extra 3% of the frequencies. And then we'll be going into, hopefully, CQ calling tomorrow. I'm not sure. I think it'll be on the 5,000. We'll just do the 5,000 tomorrow because it's a little bit empty here in the shack right now. It really is. And really, it's because of some rigs have been sold and just trying to pare down the amount of rigs because I'm not used to having so many radios. I'm not a collector. I just like to play on the radio. Okay. First question on the general today, on the U.S. U.S. general exam, Which of the following properties is important in establishing whether an RF, again, RF for new hams or people who would like to be ham radio operators, RF signal exceeds the maximum permissible exposure, MPE. That's when we have too much RF going into our bodies. Okay, these are all correct. Yeah. Which of the following properties is important? Well, the duty cycle of the transmitter means how much your transmitter is on. Okay. The frequency you're on, that makes a difference. The power density of the transmit signal, definitely. So all of those make a big difference in the maximum permissible exposure you can give to yourself, your family, or your neighbors. So again, RF exposure is important. Get yourself a field meter. Make sure you're okay. All right. Next question. Which of the following is a danger from lead tin solder? For us that grew up in the 70s and remember lead gasoline, how they phased it out in 75. Okay. We understand the big deal about lead, also in paint, things like that. Lead was in a lot of stuff. Okay. What's the danger, though, of using it? Well, if you don't wash your hands after you use lead-based solder or lead tin solder, you can actually contaminate the food you eat and get very, very sick. And you can die. You really can. You can get deathly ill. So the answer here is A. Lead can contaminate food if hands are not washed carefully after handling the solder. So if you're using a lead tin solder, just make sure you wash your hands really well and get under those nails because you don't want to contaminate your food. I'm telling you, you get lead poisoning. It is really, really bad. I've seen that before one time. And it's like the worst case of the flu I have ever seen. Scott, Colorado, welcome to the show. Good to see you. Good morning, buddy. Hope things are well there in the state of Colorado. Beautiful place. Beautiful place. What part of Colorado are you in? I never asked you that. You up near like Denver, or you down towards the Springs? Beautiful state. Colorado is gorgeous. It has a little bit of everything of the United States there. It really does. Colorado is a very unique state. So is Utah. Both very similar. You have the Rockies, beautiful mountains, got the snow and everything. Then you got the high plains out in the eastern part. It's beautiful. And when you land at Denver, for people that haven't been to Denver for a while, since they closed Stapleton International, okay, when you fly into Denver, it's like you pass Denver and you keep going, then you land. Well, a lot of times the flight attendants will say, I'd like to welcome you to the state of Kansas. We'll be back in Denver shortly. I mean, it's literally, you're so far away. Lewis Klein, hello there. Pittsburgh is in the house. Whiskey Alpha 3. Kilo Bravo. Love that call sign. Hi, Lewis. Good to see you, buddy. It's very nice to have you. Thank you for being here. Thank you very much. All right. Next question on the general. This is the United States General FCC exam. We've got some folks who are trying to license up who watch the channel, and our hope is to help them. Okay. This next one is simple. Which is the maximum transmitting power for an amateur station that they may use at 10.140? All right. First of all, if you're not a licensed amateur or you're ready to take this test, this would be a hard question, and I acknowledge that. Okay. First of all, remember, okay, this is important. On 30 meters, we can't use more than 200 watts. We can't. So this is, again, that formula, which is so important for you to keep in your head. Okay. It really is. So all you have to do is you take the number 400 and you divide it by the frequency they give you. Okay. So if you divide it by 10.140, you're going to see 39.44. Okay, that's what's going to show you. So it's going to be kind of weird, but you're going to see 39. Okay, 39. Excuse me, I said 400. Pardon. Excuse me. 300. Pardon me. 300 divided by 10.140. Excuse me. Didn't mean to do that to you. Sorry. So you divide those together, you're at 29.58. So you're right about 30 meters. That'll tell you. Just remember, 30 is 200 watts. 30 is 200 watts, period. Okay? No more. 60 is 100 watts, period, for everybody. So 60 is 100, 30 is 200. It's easy to remember it that way. 30 is half of 60, but it's twice as much the power. That's the way I remembered it, really. So keep it in mind. Again, the formula, 300 divided by whatever frequency they give you on the test. Once you have that frequency, then you'll be close in the meter band. And understand, it probably will not be exactly on the meter number. It could be, like in this case, 29. It could be, if you ever tried to decode 40, it's impossible. Nothing is 40 meters except for way, way, way up. 20 is way off. 17 is way off. I mean, none of those frequencies actually show on your calculator 40, 20, or 17, even 30, okay? But you're close. So when you remember 60 meters, 100 watts, 30 meters, 200 watts, keep that in mind. You're good to go. Hi, Fred. Welcome to the show. Good to see you. Kilo Germany 7, Whiskey Echo Quebec. Good morning to you, sir. Good to see you, Fred, as always. And Dave, hey, Dave, first time we've had you here. He's Whiskey Bravo 4, Oscar Romeo Charlie. He's listening at Home QTH, Golden, Colorado. Beautiful place. Home of Coors beer. Yeah. He's Portable 7, Cave Creek, Arizona. So he's listening from down at Cave Creek. Beautiful area. Love Arizona. One of my favorite states in the U.S. So varied there. Beautiful. Welcome to the show, Dave, and Brad, and Scott, and Lewis. Thanks. All you guys, thanks for being here. We're the only live daily podcast there is for ham radio, and grateful to be. Truly mean that. Next question, which of the following criteria must be met for a non-U.S. citizen? So we're talking about a non-U.S. citizen to be a volunteer examiner, okay? So in layman's terms, okay, if you're not from this country, can you give a ham radio test to somebody? That's really the question. Okay, the answer is the person must hold an FCC-granted amateur radio license of general class or above. That's it. That's all you have to be, okay? You don't have to be a U.S. citizen. You just have to have the general class license or higher to be able to be a volunteer examiner. If you can complete both of those, you're solid. So good to go. Remember, 18 is the minimum age you have to be to do this, to be a volunteer examiner. The second part is you must hold a general class or higher and not have your license revoked. Okay, got to make sure. Boy, which of the following applies in the event of interference between a coordinated repeater and an uncoordinated repeater? Okay, so you got a repeater that is coordinated, it's registered, it's all set up, ready to go. Okay, and all of a sudden an uncoordinated repeater shows up. Somebody's not been there, but hey, we want this frequency too. No, the licensee of the uncoordinated repeater has primary responsibility to resolve the interference. That's the truth. So the person that was there first usually is the person that contacts the uncoordinated one. Just a moment. Okay, thank you. The person that was there first in the coordinated repeater usually contacts the uncoordinated one and says, look, you're causing some interference. How can we fix this? Usually hams are really easy about, dealing with stuff like that. So the uncoordinated repeater is on the line to make sure that interference stops. Okay, next question on the general. This is important. They're very important. What is the DX window? DX window in a voluntary band plan. All right. For people who would like to be in ham radio or folks that are new, there is a DX window on various frequencies. Okay. That DX window is typically a frequency that we do not try and make calls to other hams within our own country. Okay. The DX window is essentially a frequency that you'll call out on to the world. Okay. You're trying to reach other countries. So the answer is a portion of the band that should not be used for contacts between stations within the 48 contiguous United States. Okay. So if you're on the DX window, take a look carefully at your band plan. Take a look, and even if you want to, search up DX window and, 40 meters or 20. Okay. And then you'll find out the frequencies. And then you basically simply just get on that frequency and you say, okay, CQDX, CQDX. That's it. And if you're in Ohio and you're calling from Oregon, you try not to make the call back because that person's trying to make calls from outside the country. Okay. So keep that in mind. We get along together because we work together based on the band plan. We all voluntarily take part in it and we coordinate it. We cooperate together. Okay. When sending CW, which is Morse code, what does the C mean when added to the radio? Now, this is important. Okay. Really important. The receive station transmit report. So the RST report. This would be like if you're on, we've heard on the radio here where people say 5-9 here into Los Angeles, California. Thank you so much. My name is Ed, Echo Delta, whatever. Right. Okay. Morse code's different. They'll say like 599, but then they put a C there. Okay. After they do the 599, if there's a C, it means that there's a chirpy or unstable signal coming from your transmitter. They're telling you there's a problem. So take a good look at your radio, at your keyer, at your paddles. You can also take a good look at your ground too. Really a good place to look. If you see a C and you're doing Morse code, it means you've got a chirpy or unstable signal. All right. Next, what is QRP operation? This is not one of our friend Gunther in Germany's favorite operations. QRP is low power transmit. Yeah, when you're running QRP, it means simply that you've decided to run on lower power to transmit to people. It's a challenge, and a lot of people really dig it. In fact, ICOM, with their new IC705, it is a 5-watt transceiver on battery power, 10 on plug-in power. By the way, in radio news, put a little commercial in the middle of the show here. Sorry. So if you're looking for an FTDX10, let me know. Okay. I know where you can get some now. Okay. Other stores are sold out, but I do know where you can get some. All right. Hit me up if you want to know. All right. That commercial is brought to you by teaser.com. Radio, we always call it a tease. All right, next question. Which communication system sometimes uses the internet to transfer messages? All right. If you're on the internet and you're transferring messages, usually using WinLink, that's what you're doing. For example, if you're using WiresX, okay, on Yaesu has the WiresX service with their Fusion, C4 FM stuff, and they connect through the internet to talk to people in other countries. So if you're using WiresX, say on a 991A or an FTM 400, and you're in the WiresX mode, even if you're contacting a repeater, the repeater is through the internet, putting you into these little rooms where you can select which country you want to talk to. Okay. That's like WinLink. Okay. Same thing. It connects to the internet to make contacts to other people. That's how it works. A good example of one of the ways that it works as well. Okay. Next question. See? Hard, right? This is a tough one, and I'll get you a closer picture because this one's important. I love to do schematics because people don't always get them. Okay. Hi, by the way, Martin, good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's good to see you as always from Holland. Thank you, Martin. Okay. The question asks, and I know it's hard to see, but we'll get there. Okay, which symbol in figure G7-1 represents a multiple winding transformer? Get this thing off the screen, Larry. Okay, here's the schematic. Looking for a multiple winding transformer in this gobbledygook. Okay, when you're looking at this and you're new, you're like, oh my gosh, where is it? Okay, let me put your heart at rest. Okay, it's number 6. Number 6 is the multiple wiring transformer, okay? You can see it because it has the windings on both sides with a couple of straight lines in between. That's the transform element. So remember, transformers transform current basically changes the amperage of the current, or it can change the voltage. That's transforming it. Rectifiers completely change AC to DC or DC to AC. That's what rectifier does. It rectifies the sine wave of the power that you're using. So in this case, a multiple winding transformer is number 6. Okay. You got 2 transistors here. Okay. Right in the middle. Remember the circle with a T? Okay, just for you folks that are getting ready to take this test tomorrow. Circle with the T is number 1 and 2. Number 1 is a field effect transistor has the arrow in the center. Remember? Field effect transistors have that arrow in the center of the T, okay? Number 2 is an N-type transistor. Just has the gate coming down there on the lower end towards that resistor and towards the ground, okay? And you've got, let's see here, what we got? We got a bunch of grounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Count the grounds. Let's all play the count the ground game. Wish I had like a game show thing going on right now.
Oh, don't anybody move!
Exactly. Gee, there's a lot of grounds here. Anyway, that's the multiple winding transformer. All right, let me show you another thing here real quick. We're going to talk about a way you can get on. Say, for example, you're in Wyoming, right? And you're in a real antenna restricted area, but you'd like to use the radio, all right? And I want to thank Lee Rosselli. Lee comes on the channel all the time. Lee, forgive me for not having your call sign memorized. I just don't. It's hard to do it with this show. But I do remember, and I do thank you. I want to show you what he told me about today and showed me because he knows I really want to do remote work, okay? He knows that. This is what it looks like in miniature form if you go on to remotehams.com, okay? Remotehams.com is a really neat site. It's a place where essentially you get to you can transmit on somebody else's rig, literally. Okay, so if you're on a radio and you really like to be able to work somebody else's rig, you can do that through here. Now, I got a hold of them and I asked them, okay, now listen, let me ask you this question. How in the heck does this work? How can you be sure that, you know, the person is actually a ham radio operator, right? How do you know? By the way, Lee, I got it finally. I had to look through email. Whiskey Alpha 8, Romeo November Bravo. Whiskey Alpha 8, Romeo November Bravo. Thanks, Lee. All right. So they said, look, we do check into it. We make sure to check the ILS database through the FCC and make sure the person's licensed, okay? So it gives you an opportunity to go register online. If you've got a rig or something, you can put on the remote rig site as well. Other folks can control your rig and have some fun. Transmit from a different location, right? Pretty cool stuff. Check it out, remoteham.com. It's remoteham.com. And I want to thank Lee Rosselli for that. All right, tomorrow, great show coming up. Oh my gosh, put it on your calendar. Starting at 1900 UTC, we're going to have Raleigh coming on. Raleigh Runsingham coming from New Zealand. His call sign is ZL1BQD, ZL1BQD, coming from New Zealand. He's 21 hours the other side of me. Raleigh's a great guy. Literally, this guy is 5 DXCCs. He's only three countries away from getting his 6th DXCC certificate. Man's amazing. But the best part about Raleigh is he's humble. Raleigh's a humble guy. You're going to love this man. He's going to talk about what it's like to bring your radio out on the road, take it to a very remote place, and use it, and do it with success. Raleigh's done it in a lot of places throughout the South Pacific, the Indian Ocean, throughout the Philippines. I mean, down towards Antarctica. Seriously, tomorrow at 1900 UTC, we'll be live with Raleigh. He'll talk about his expeditions and the things that he's done. He'll also talk about his YouTube channel. I want to make sure he does that. I'm not doing this to be some superstar dude. That's not who I am. Done radio, been there, done that. That part's done. But I enjoy this part. This is fun for me. And I don't have a weekly program director meeting either. That's nice. If you've ever been in radio, pro radio before, you know about the air check sessions. You go through them and you just be prepared for, a half hour of hearing the mistakes that you're making. Anyway, pro radio school. Commercial radio is a lot of fun. It was. And I was in it at a time before things really changed. And commercial radio is a lot different today than it was, back in the 80s and 70s. Yeah, a lot of changes. Anyway, Raleigh will be here and he'll talk about his YouTube channel. And I want to make sure and promote his as well. Find him at ZL1BQD, ZL1 Bravo, Quebec Delta. Sorry, had to think for a moment. Pretty hard in the morning. Got to take Bob to a medical appointment here in a few minutes. So I want to take a sure look at the time, make sure we're okay. Folks, we're going to be without a radio today. tomorrow for sure we'll have one set up here, probably using the 5000. We have a radio coming, and we're excited for that, but it's being shipped. It's our Disneyland radio. Thanks very much to one of our viewers who watches the show and become a good friend, Ward Dixon down in Southern California, for hooking me up with a gentleman at Ham Radio Outlet down in Anaheim. So I've got my Disneyland FTDX 101 returning to the shack. Finally! I'm so excited just to have it back. It's the best receiver I've ever used. It is. It is the very best receiver I've ever used. I didn't need the MP. I've got a 1200 watt amp, so I don't need the MP. I just really wanted the receiver back. So the 101 will be back. It's supposed to be here Monday, so Tuesday probably the first show with that. And now I'm in a little conundrum. I'll share this with you. A little conundrum, right? So I really want to work remote, but from my zero gravity chair, right? So I've got some choices. Flex radio. I could buy like a 6300, something like that, and then use the Maestro, right? Connect to the Maestro, be able to kick back, relax, enjoy the radio for the Flex. I could do that. Or I could buy the radio I've been wanting for so long, and that's the ICOM 7610. You know, when I was studying for my license, I loved the 7600. I thought it was a great superhead. I thought it was amazing, and I really wanted it. But then when I passed, I realized they no longer made it. And that was tough because I really would love to have had one. So the 7610 is so dear to my heart. You know, it's kind of one of those things where you want it, but you're not sure because, you know, it duplicates what you already have, right? Because the 101 and the 7610, they compete. That's what they do. They're in the same class. They compete with each other. So do I really need both of them? Probably not, you know, and the whole point here is to remote. So if the idea is to come in here and have a way to remote a transceiver, well, the Flex makes a lot of sense. And I know that ICOM does sell the RSB or whatever is -1 remote. And I've seen, you know, quite a few videos, and I've watched, and I've also seen reviews. Do this, please do this. When you're looking at buying a radio, okay, a transceiver of any kind, you're looking at maybe the remote software, okay? You're looking at anything. Take a look at what your peers are saying. Go to eham.com. Eham.com, I cannot stress enough, is a great place to look to hear what people are saying about products, because you'll get a good idea of what the hams are talking about when it comes to product reviews. They do them because they own them. They'll say, I don't like this thing, or they'll say, it's okay, it could have been better, or they'll say, I love it, okay? So when it came for the remote software, that's where the 7610 really struggled. And actually the AC was real strong. I was surprised because I love the look of the 7610's remote software. I don't like the price, nor do I like the look of the 101s. It just doesn't look good. And I don't want to pay another $300 for the option of being able to use it remotely. It's like, come on, Yaesu, couldn't you have just thrown in the LAN, just thrown it in like ICOM did? You know, because there is a difference. If you're looking at those two radios, the ICOM is ready to roll right now remote. You can use it remote because it's got a built-in local access network. It's got the card right there. With the ICOM, yeah, with the Yaesu, yeah, it's got the sound card, but it does not have the LAN. You have to buy a separate device, which costs about $300 to add to the 101 so you can use it remotely. Anyway, that's the hope. So we're trying to work all through that today and hopefully be able to do a good show for you here tomorrow. And then with Raleigh, that'll be easy because he's a simple guy. It's awesome. And then we'll Saturday have hopefully a good show with you. And we'll do CQ calling course tomorrow night as well. And Sunday, the topic question, get ready. I'll give it to you early, a sneak peek of the topic question, okay? The sneak peek of Sunday's show, which has become the most popular show here on the channel. If you could do a de-expedition from anywhere in the world, where would it be? That's your question for Sunday. That's why we tied Raleigh in for Friday, right? Friday's show, Raleigh's going to talk about his de-expeditions, what he's done, his DXCC. I want him to talk about his YouTube channel as well. I think it's important he gets to promote that here. And then Saturday, we'll do a regular show. And then Sunday is our Ham Talk Live, where you guys just run everything, okay? Question again, if you could do a de-expedition anywhere in the world, where would it be? That's on Sunday's show. All right, I need to skedaddle. Got to get my brother up to his medical appointment. Want to say hello to Digital Analog Ham here at the UK. You know what? He sent me an email. Please forgive me, my friend. You sent me an email and you asked me about something about being on some group or something. Resend that, okay? Can't find the email, and I didn't want to be rude to you, okay? I didn't want to. So, and also, so you know, digital analog, okay? I'm stuck right now. We're right between a 7610 and a Flex 6300, okay? And I know you're a Flex person, so. That's the show. Thanks for watching, everybody. This is Ham Radio Live, show number 136. It has been my honor and privilege to be here with you today. Sorry about no rig. There's no way to do it today, although I could go behind me and we could do it that way. But quite honestly, because of my time and getting my brother to a surgeon appointment, I need to drive him up to Portland, which is a little bit of a drive. Thanks for understanding. Thanks for watching. Enjoy this ending. This is a great ending. It is a very rare ending from the days when radio did not go 24/7. Yep, they used to go on the air and off the air just like television. Okay? Until next time, my name's Larry. My call sign's Kilo 7 Hotel November. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the sign off. God bless you, everybody.
WRII concludes its broadcast day. The staff and management hopes you have enjoyed today's programs, and we invite you to join us again tomorrow morning when we resume our broadcast day at 5 a.m. WRII is owned and operated by Seven Leg Productions, Incorporated, R. Merle Gillespie, President, with studios located at 507 Northwest 2nd Street, Homestead. WIII operates on an assigned frequency of 1430 kilocycles with power of 500 watts by authority of the Federal Communications Commission. The station with its eyes on you, WIII, returns to the air tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. Till then, a pleasant good evening. And this is our story of country music, planted so deep within our hearts that it will live forever. So when it's time for the tall times to find, the ballboys to fall, the bumblebee bumbles all day, the grasshopper hops and the eavesdropper drops, while gently the old cow slips away. All hands up and turn a little swing it, swing it, swing your morning, swing your call, swing a little girl from Arkansas. Everybody there's known you go to the chicken in the bed and picking up those squares on the inside, just on the outside.